Yo, balbe konto na weekend ola. Natale, jos kanyoso hakilo la lemo. Ko nga ko nyamen dron dolu. Nga nim fresco le fa mobot. Balbe konto no. Jamal lewe fen koto. Silfo 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 konto siaga jadam. 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 balbe konto na mbaflal be saluto, you know. Ndel kanna kuole ke. Ngai esti sa unyari. Ndel kanna kuole ke. Balbe konto na anyway. Nata don hanisa nyo ya marolom. Kuol be siari. Kumol be different fen ko la ngaje ko ba jama be fokan bring fatu camera la 𝒒𝒊𝒏 yes ke ba sise nge konto manke fatu camera te fatu de la nyin ko start anyway na da men fodro hanisa Gambia diwlo Gambia do ko lo banko lo mo bu ka fo moy ko ngata yata da bebel munela wala mo ko Gambia diwni be bero nyin ka wolle bloko ando Gambia la politico be tembo mento bi na politico is very very dirty and very unmatured. Abala fa warta back Gambia diun na banko be conditional mento ete mari tete diam la fenna wala mu kombe opportunity ta kamunela wala mu ko comme nafiki yale kombe bere kiso nyini na wolela nindia wada mol ka fon ko Essa ite fon albuka concentrate adama barokan ha ni youth united movement for change KMC area council united for change wal mu opposition let ntel be diamula lela ko wala and we will continue to talk about them because e bugada NPP supporters e kada UDP ko leya mandin gol ko fele wulo le long diata fele wulo wala demo diata dina ye ma wulo mello ni tata wulo kono yalo ne ko silandin sila babe damento su ko koma siloli su ko siloli nyato siloli koma siloli ikol belo ne because ye wulo nyin kono ne yo ni youth KMC area council workers movement ila mo finalo nyin nin kumu yalo UDP le kono wala tina ninga mol mo every time ka fo mole ko Taliban is unifier. For me, that's Taliban is disqualified to be a unifier. Taliban cannot be a unifier because someone who cannot unify a mere political party, how do you expect that person to unify the country? Taliban have already disqualified himself to be a unifier. Because you cannot unite country today. Momo benyum banko unite, like you cannot leave the UDP behind. It's impossible. And Taliban is not a person to unify that country. Because he disqualified himself already. Mome yalokwebe political party kono. Ite division on that in the party kono. How do you expect that person to go and unify the Gambian citizen? Who is he going to unify them? So when I see Mulba Vokakoha, Taliban is the unifier or whatsoever, Taliban is not a unifier but a divider. Because Atabenda party kono already, I mean Etabe party okono. And we call Manding Kolkafonya, the charity begin at home. Taliban should be a unifying figure in United Democratic Party because of Muneketa. Amu United Democratic Party atata ketela ko admin secretary le. For admin secretary lamba for whatsoever secretary lematija. Asaida kore kaketa mayoti. If Taliban cannot unify United Democratic Party, how do you expect Taliban to unify the entire country? Its United Democratic citizens supporters are not Gambians. We are Gambians. So he already created the chaos in the party. Me yalonko alata kola ntole mafo kontole talbe ke fent. But mayoral seat member bula la sababu bota party o menna. Nin talbe na da yo party o nyin tinyala aim and objective to divided political party for his personal interest just to be a leader of the party. How do you expect that person to unify the country? So for me, well, Kafoko is a unifier, that's a no-go area. And the people are those who many along they are advocating for Taliban and ala kafomol. Jama beje safu mole ko ali concentrate Adama Baroka. Yes, Messiah fange kondo. Don't beje safu mole ko ali concentrate Adama Baroka. Taliban yaju baby, Taliban and Adam Barrow, they are all 6 and 9. Even though in other side he is a bit better than Adama Barrow. You know? But in yaju be Karadola, did Taliban even care about the Gambian who better come make on? Because nintel after changing la banko can be banko be problem o menko na be condition o mendo. Ntedu ngalo ko no individual group can remove that incumbent. Why will I bring the division for my personal interest and forget the suffering that the Gambians are going through? So Nimole Kafo Moleko Ha Talbe is the only unifier. That's a fake. How can somebody even believe such? Molte believe no la wala. It be political party okono you're divided just to be a leader. Imanda wala ko ke yalo no ko 1 month or 1 year and some months before the election, and you always believe ko only unity can remove the incumbency, and then you bring this unity within those opposition. How do you expect also kafo ko nga believe ko Taliban even care about the Gambian suffering? Aman care, and all those people many yalo ko be Taliban noma. Gambia aleo banko makwe. Because the thing is, the sad thing is the politician, they take the Gambian ordinary electorate as a fool. Because coming Essa Jawla be siri njambe dia mo men fo can be. Essa Jawla be siri njambe kuma kama men fo can be. Ngana change. Nka fo mole ko United Democratic in fact ibeten. Wala tina Adama di alay hakilo dilale. Pro. Niaje alikiyama luna ala ko momo abe hella accountable for your own deed. I have kunega because I hakilo di Adama di kili wo kili pour ite fong. You be responsible for your own thinking. Na madama manke dindi unati, madama ite manke moleti me yalo kama mbali kuya. Woto ite la responsibility be molka. But ni ite tata sa ite yalo ko muy fansom matured man leti. Ila responsibility ite mo moleka. You will be held accountable in the day of judgment. And the ultimate more punish because Carle nyingi. So what I told Gambia electoral at Ntolumeni Kadiamo, Alignante la Moila Ningan Dial and Kamune Falie. Are we honest? Because we think that you people have no sense or you don't have any thinking capacity is not good enough to understand Mbemenfoka. Because more many are be UDP. Ye UDP kale fion beti. They call you people to vote for United Democratic Party. Ye kumobe for UDP la alfama. Kafamu yineti mo kendolo. And we all agree that. Because lawyer Usain Dabo, more me yaloko. Wala kenanko. Gambia ning ayata ko. Gambia know most of these people, they don't even care about the corruption that is going on in the country. Because how are we going to term someone as a good leader? A good leader, follow. You must not be a corrupt person. Ba useni manke mo corrupted. 30 good years. Abe United Democratic Party la leadership yala. Mota fula ko scandal le funtita la karola UDP la area. Fula njang koteke. Akeda a foreign minister. Mansakunda kona itaro menkeja. And according to Jawla la Mansakunda fana do ko kide, but he resigned from his position because injustice meant at tatamakan. Obem good record let. How can you compare that person with someone who don't even have an experience but ngake mayoti from nowhere ngake mayoti iko wo mayo ni wole competent wo political leader ni wo man competent na man kala competency ayala party yo ta nyaadi le kake nyabo shilo kan Fomol nata la wo party la wo nyabo le kamma ko funding kyol nata I dunta party o nyinkono. Ning ayatra ko he is not a good leader. UDP will not reach to the place where we are today. So, what ning ayatra ko ntulu tonya mbe menyin ka wole mu leader kendot. Why will we say that Karla kuole mandianye? So more many kafoko haba usen lota la kilente fulate sabate nanite Gambiano le reject. That is not our problem. That is not ba usen's problem. And the Talbe membenakang mo malo whether Gambiano foi ba rejecta foi ta rejecta. You cannot force the electorate. The only thing is keno wala mo to represent a competent person. Mo me yalo ko ya hope so ko among corrupt. And I have him called Benny Tandila. I have him proof more than he is not corrupt. And that's the only thing what we can do to present to present a someone who is not corrupt, competent, and have sympathy for Gambian. And I have from proof Tonya Gambia Janeta Ekobela. That's the only person we can present them as our candidate. But ndolite mo natin dila kafo ko moli nyine like. Wala ke kamune fo ha Gambianul mamba usen like based on what? Ima like mun dalila lekam. We are not bringing someone ko Gambian ya likely. No, we want the competent leadership. Whether Gambian like him or not, or her or not, but the important thing was to deliver the expectation from the electorate. So ibaji la ko nientel la politician la kumola mwe. For example, kunumbe Mr. Gadigo, Dr. Gadigo la kumola mwe. It's very, I am so disappointed on Gadigo because muneketa Gadigo ko ning Adama Baroning lawyer Dabo Tata election la koreke 100% Adama is going to win. Is that a UDP problem? Is that a Dabo's problem? That is not Dabo's problem. We cannot force anybody to vote for him. We have confidence in him. And I found out from proof mo le kaje ko yes. I found out ka from proof ko atemanke mo men corrupt. So, and I don't understand some of our this intellectual, they are very dishonest when it come in terms of analysis. Because Gajigoko, the Gambians, they reject Bausen. But what's the wala kinna ko etata berota kafa? Yes, Mr. Man nge kondo. Wala kinna etata berota kati kakadi Adama Barola. Right? But it's the follower Dabo Damban is the only candidate whereby the Gambian don't have any other alternative but to go against lawyer Hussein Dabo. Mama Kande was there. Why they don't vote for Mama Kande? And the Halifa Sallah was there. Why they don't vote for Halifa Sallah? Essa was there. When they are looking for young, vibrant and educated person, why they don't vote for Halifa Essa? And we have independent candidates. We have noobs there, Talani Almu Alaine Mr. Jame. Well, baby. So why the only lawyer Dabo losing the election is like Adama Baroning, Adama Baroning lawyer Hussein Dabo le tata Fenkola. Adam Baroni lawyer Hussein Dabo le tata electoral. So Gambian have a choice. So that's meaning it is the problem Gambian voting for Adam Barrow. That is not the UDP problem. That is not any other opposition problem. That is the Gambian electorate problem. Do they want for a left talebo kabon even batamen kono? What do they tell for lebul? Manding golo ko kasuo samba bada lale, but it is so frosela pride you mean. Halifa Sallah we are here. Why they don't vote for him? And then you will meet the Gambians. Yes, Halifa Sallah is very competent and they are very, so that's meaning the problem in our country, the leadership problem is not created by the politicians, but created by the citizens themselves. So, itena lawyer Dabo Damba lose election. How many politicians are there who are losing the election? So, those who are telling us that Mama Kande Benakala Sabanja kono. But why are they not talking about that? So, but the focus is on UDP. The problem in the Gambia is that special like Ninata and intellectual on the side, they are fair or they have fair in UDP. Walamuko, you at the president of UDP, they don't have any other opportunities. They know that. So the only thing is to go against United Democratic Party. Because most of our intellectual time to criticize UDP, trying to paint UDP with bad color. If they spend that energy criticizing government, trying to correct the government, maybe in a situation of be. But the focus is more on UDP than even the ruling government. So you can see that, even in Fat Ture and Fenko just was the few people, only 2 people have a problem with Fat Ture. It's not the entire UDP political party. But you see, and the Fature categorically clear said ko, yes, moment ka fa ko, e man keso no niya jete di nola because of this and this and this. Because Omari is very stupid. Adama di buka di di afanna. Di ala la sondirolet. Na fulu buka di mola, nyinya buka di mola, adaraja buka di mola, di be ala le bulu. Dimu ala andung ala buka jube baton ngadimu di karla karimu mo kendol te baton kana dimu di karla karimu mo kurunet ala dimu fanambe ala la harje wala kono dunya nemolo asi adi no lale asi bale asi adi no dolale wala tine kamol je ka dimu fon wulu ka konota me yalo ko manfutu molbe keri ke ate banna gambe kono ka moja ka kono bonda kata dimu fay dolbe je wol kata jame to ka kurwo samba je puru ye dimu soto nyamen wote balon nako ala la ko wala mot. But Fatu Comrade categorically clear said ko. Womanke UDP koti many offer. And that page, personally, I always have problem with that page. And I end up blocking them. Nge block them. Bikela fenjaki. Kafo pa fenko menako. NPP must go. Wo page on is a very someone member koma. Wol yamira ko ite fala. Yamira ko alaman soto. Those are the people many aloko they want to depend their survival. From gaining or pay money me along sort of social media. So wol katale kamoli attack pour ebe view wasi soto la nyamendo. So fat kamera ya fole ko mambo fat ture ya fole ko mambe o manke UDP gold. And then one thing ngambe catch of fat ture la ko na ko mansa kunda NPP government yala contract called terminate because of allegedly that ya alleged ko UDP column. Yala contract called terminate and the bank could do a contract called terminate because of a communicator eko marimu or a politician or the wala a political party sympathizer. That is not their concern, and that should be a concern for every genuine citizen. But they ignore that part. Imagine what my important because as far as UDP is concerned, UDP told for that now NPP told for that but woman concerned and the worst word me yaloka but a moment found that kono wala muko kafu mo ko niaje man dim soto no nyina o manke UDP god. But now everything turned to be a UDP because muneketa they all are waiting at this moment just to paint UDP with their bad color. But in coming for Adamadiwe alingang hakilot Yenin dunia je be ku kekan ite amira ko you are fooling people but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enyante mira la wala wo meya lon ko atele bembe kitin la alkiyama lo luna ni te amira ko politiko movement wala mo ko batu ngana ngamol detindi batu ngana kato karla ko man dia nya alinga denga fanya leka because most of these intellectuals they feel threatened at the presence of UDP. Ni UDP BJ, they have this feeling ko they have no other opportunity. The only thing they want to do is to eliminate UDP so that if on Safonya the political field so that they also can have an opportunity. Nina muila believed. So only thing they can do, they all will come out. Fatu ture mem for that should be a concern for every citizen. Because akala balu osoto nyina kono, akala start for jol nyina kono. But mansa kunda kala ala contract call ke terminate. Ibu kada wala de. Ala private business partners so many along ko eka contract call like advertisement deal. They even call those people or suppress those people to terminate her contract. But do you see anybody talking about that side? And that is the most important thing. Because she is a citizen, she have every right to to support any political party, being NPP, being UDP, being any political party Ture, I rise on level. But you see, they are now taking Fatu Ture like trying to paint UDP. Some went to the the model found with the coming Essa nala Essa Njaye UDP we are intolerance. I don't know what they call as tolerance. Because it feel and most of our journalists in the Gambia, they have to know power so yes, you have a media, you have a voice, but your voice does not make people to hate anybody. Because most of these journalists our electorate, majority of electorate, they cannot read. They don't ask them about the ask them about Fatu Network, Africa. Because those people will be miracle balwala talk less of. Yes, talk less of credit Facebook. Those people don't even know what is Facebook is. So, but most of our journalists think that they are untouchable. Yes, journalists have to be respected. Journalists, they have, they play a very important role in the society. But journalism is not about trying to paint the political party with a bad color because it is a personal ambition or political party or wala muyaja tinya. So you ko alinga kafuma because inte kangone soto. But inyantalo na ko moment fananke lamoila. Ibota wolle kono ini bota korda kil, not that it tele hakilo beteate bit, and not that everybody is following woma wake up belief in the ko itebe kuma kango benfoka. Ba ala hakilo di mo bela. So our journalists, some of our journalists feel that they are untouchable. And they need tele mo madule ka wotinyale. Altemo tinyano la de. But one thing, wala muko mo bedo ko do kula woli nyanda ko ka respect ko dia. But yajele, you know, ndesan, Gambia la na afikia is too much. Mo wulta jande kata pa mo la radio de NPP nkolam. Ka attack ye, ka threaten, ka fay kon telebe fala. Do you ever hear any of these journalists come out and even say anything about that? How many times Pamodo have been complaining about that? They never say that. Let's say that was if that was said by the UDP supporter. And then they will bring this kind. Hangafal in the UDP, this UDP. The thing is, some people, they have a natural hate against UDP. And we cannot do anything about that. Let us be very careful. You cannot satisfy everybody. And some of our people, they want to satisfy everybody. In dunya kono ite mo be satisfy no. Mote keri ite kangola la mena. But ite mari maybe kangola kele ite nyantalo na la. Ibe nyimela kana fotonya la fotonya. Because it'll be like kuma kangola fola. But adamadi ubuka foko he kari nyuli ko kari matenne. Ala buka wofo ka foko ko he kari betenne batu nga kitindi waka batu nga police waka. Ala hajite woto. So Gambia the thing is now the journalists like the people like Essa Njai, it's like he was waiting at this moment. Abenabe UDP attack Lanyame and calling us intolerance, calling us all the names Kadeko, we are not even in the government Benin Kifa. What about when and then at the same time the same people like Kanafale ko UDP was in government in 2018, 2017, 2019, 20 like Gadi go Bemen Foka. Akate ajele ko UDP was in government in 2018. After from the you know one thing they men cross side in Gambian politics. If they want to be recognized by the people or the outside or so-called the elite, their first step to be accepted in political arena. Pour existence long, they have to come out and accuse UDP or trying to belittle UDP. When UDP was fighting, where were these people? Where were Gajigo, Dr. Gajigo? When he can say that UDP at Mampati Jo Banko ka meya lonko ha a fenketa a competenta even UDP was in government at la miro to UDP don't deserve that. But when the UDP was when they were torturing UDP supporters, where were they? In those days you don't hear all this ilanying fenkol. But UDP, alhamdulillah, the history means Gambian politics. No political party will, exist in that country. May your history sort Hani generation to come because their name is already written in our history book. So Gambia most of these people, many along they think that they are educated elite. Multi. Itelle karanta multe hakilte coming that's most of amanke to akarambu beti but to akarambu to dindi jama beje they think that they are more civilized or they are some of why some of these people they even distance themselves from the United Democratic Party yalo kodo beja amna jare nga befo but until ngalo ne why they some of them trying to place the orders because they call United Democratic Party coming ikafunya de manding call the term. And then they term mandinkas like we are not coming mankuning. Some of these, even our own people, many are they are well educated. They will distance themselves just to prove their, just to prove their intelligence to the people, so that how can they will be accepted in the so-called society. We are seeing that. So yesterday, I don't like to name the names. But nkajele ko bi wo molu kunu meni ka woli nene men be United for Change moli men kenen kunu bi wolle kanna ka bloko siye e ba fole ko you are right e be men foka you are but one thing nkam men fo mole wala mko adamadi alaye ke femfendi be proud who you are, be proud who you are. So most of these people, their problem is not about UDP. It's about who is leading United Democratic Party. Nim lawyer Usain Dabo Botaji. Any other person nata. As far as is known amarimu manding kadunity, the same problem. And the Hanian Talbe Ben Suda Meyalonko Ilani movement for United Movement for Change. You will see. You will have, because the people behind the Talbe Bensouda, most of them, they have this tribal, the tribal belief, inferiority complex in them. And they ibena problem also until about for Kalabe. Alamu alem beso si mani jada kendel. Yano, one thing go for Adamadiuna, Kanajuto Adamadiuna. Kanajuto Adamadiuna. Even some of the coming tell Ninsi file, a kanjila go, ki eut, nil mankuning. So some of our people is started kela mul phone attack. Ibota siyo membala. One thing tengo for moen. The last thing I will do. To come out and try to paint my own tribe with a bad color just to satisfy the others. Because ndenga alo neko. Ndemu manding kadionet. Mba mu manding quality. Mfa mu manding quality. Mbedi unme ulu ka manding quality. Andong many ente ulu imanke mojaut. Iman si kong. Why did you want to, categorize me based on my tribes? E kanyin neni romen befo e ka choji UDP la. At the end akake munati manding kollo. Kunu ngajele ko Talbe Bensouda la ala mol meni yalon ko be live TikTok. Ye kuma modo beje ngala fenko nyinta ngamune ke nga screenshot le. Ay kuma kan men fo ba usenima. You see, Gambia, we have a problem. They are these people wanting Mbembe Fole, but most of Ngo, Ibota si wasito, you have every right. Political party member in Bangkokang, Abemu Gambia dun la political party let. But Alimano member carrying in Bangkokang. Alimano member carrying in Bangkokang, Wolamuko. Only thing they can do, Wolamuko, trying to bully United Democratic Party. For example, kunung Essa fale kumakang memfo. Kaje ko, IC a try. Kaje ko luntawni. It cannot register na political con. And then there are many people who are alleging that foreigner lekana. But when the atodung this Kerewan area, Kerewan regional chairman of United Democrat, Kramon Jailemba, I don't know. When he said the same thing. But you see standard newspaper, yela fenko, ye wo fenko in court nyadile, itata kasafe. So they are painting UDP as a, they are painting United Democratic Party as a xenophobic. So niamo is xenophobic. Niko mo local tribalist lebe joma le manding kon. They are not talking to the fullers. If you hear them calling United Democratic as tribalists, they are not referring to fullers, they are not referring to Wolof, they are referring to Mandinkas as the tribalists. That is the fact, whether we accept it or not. Bring Al-Khari Membale, Talibe Fang Alo Talajaya Afo Gambia ko ala interview do beje birate bena UDP kono ya nyitanda la ko imam ite fit la nyim party kono because they are tribalists. Who are tribalists? Manding Kol. And that is the last thing I will accept. Because ebe menke ka wolum ko kali bully Manding kadingo be kumodo fola be atala be akila problemot ninsi kote ya for drong then you gisuma be so la ka wonyala ate fenkel. So the thing is the tactic wolum ko to bully us. Ikaje kon kana diamuno because nin kombe diamula fon nka mira lembe mune fula our freedom of expression e ba try kan ka wole fon ta ka soroma and the jomale ba ke kam found men budenta si kilona. Politics should not be based on tribe camp because tribe moto bondino la adamadi yakono kadon ala subhanahu wa ta'ala mune fo ako atul adamaduni inna kalakina kun zakara wal unsa wa ja'alnahum su'uban wa qaba'ila litarif ngal dadale ngal ke kabilolti ngal ke different county pour ñin kamala ko al signolo bara ko na bota wala inna akramakum indallahi wa atqakum al bemo kendonte alaya wala mu men silantante alaya ila ke mandin koti ila mandin kaya me nafa fenna ni manke mo kendot ila ke surwati ila surwaya me nafa fenna alaya ila daji ko wala nafa alaya. And all this nonsense we have that in ndel mo fi na ko bala fa wartale mbejan nin tubabo len racist in kakamfa but intel fon dambanu men yalo kon den tadino la mbe siring intel le kanyo baden kanyo futu but at the same time we build a hate because of based on karimu fulolti karimu wolofulati karimu nyinet inferiority complex man betea wala ken hani ala subhanahu wa ta'ala mune fo mole ko ako kullu hizbin bima ladaynahu farihin. Kafu ijanta proud like a moment. Ni mu flow to be proud who you are. Ka to flow ala le yadada. Ni mu manding ko to be proud of ila manding kayala. But kana jutu flyala, kana jutu surwayala because ni jutu nanyi like jutu ala la daro lela. These are all the things many aloko alabe Gambia police kanyinka. These are the things many alonko alabe police kanyinka. Ntelle kata jamin kilunto, kata misiri kilunto. Nka nyo futu na futu dulal. But the politicians are taking advantage. Kaje ko ka siya ta, ka siyo dota ka manding kol pent, kanke mo kurunti. Ngaje le bi Mr. for gargalem Bob. Nema kunkula fenko nyi, nema kunku youth whatever, abe UDP le kon. Ay muso la natalo siya, muso be muna keka. Akata anyo akata du molle ka kafo ko ye bula youth move ako ikafo nyadile ka bula talbe no ma because niaje ko UDP man talbe ta because of a manke manding court. Should we even the first thing me yalon ko niaje continue youth ilani United for Change ngalo no kate labana manke ala subhanahu wa ta'ala tide barate labana because ilo nya follow beke kamente wala mko trying to belittle mandinkas, trying to paint the mandinkas with the bad color kanyita al mol la ko niaje nyili mansong talibetala ima because of a manke mandinko. But should we select our leaders based on their tribe or should we select the leaders based on their competency and the character? Nyina mu nyinin karoti banko diube ba onite konde ko nale ba usenta fulol ta faila nale ba usenta surwal ta faila nyin sidol man lafi ba usen e man lafa na because of muneka katu manding kolo. Should we even campaign based on this? Is a shame. This is the country where we call it 95% of the population are Muslims. Ando alako innamal mu'minina ikwatan muslimul bemu bakilin fakilun. But at the same time, when Muslim do le kan ka fo ko ha nale ba usenta nyi sidol ta fa. So you are ite fonde ba qualified in the kanko tribalism nebe Gambia kon. Katunia je buka fo ba usene because of ala manding kayana. But you want the UDP to endorse that system. Wala mal kamem fo mo le dro nale talbe natin di nyi sidol ba accept la. Yeah. Ntela manding kaya man accept. Iko because of mo manding kol. Nte man fanda ni denta banko menna. Man fanda da. Alale ndada ntul be botam bemba adama le bala e kana fonye ko you have to dance the tune with the others because the others don't accept you. So for them to vote for your political party, that's meaning you have to take a tribe which is not part of you. Adama di umenkende yata isondo mo be bala imu mo kendot iye mira alkama loluna eske nyanta nyu kuma bole dalako. But this was the campaign tool of the United for Change. And the killing teja me yalo kabo kumo sosol. E ka me fo wala muko nale ba usenta sidol ta faila. Ba usen mansunya roke. E ka wala fo amanke suntide. Aman corrupted and amanke mo kurunde. But only crime I mentioned to wala muko manding column. Itelle ka fo de. Ila kumol mbesa ka wolle. Ba we ka fo nale ba usenta dro nyin sidol ta faila nga alone. Signal yo la ba reject kay ma reject because of his corrupt. He ma reject not because of his competent. He is not competent. He ma reject ko because of I kukurneke or he have any bad record track in that country. But ala only crime wala muko because of his mandinka. Itelle ka fo de, not me. So nite kondele ko nale talibeta. Ibaje la ko nyin sidol ba faila. So ite ba fo kantene ko we should encourage that tribalism. Nteni ite be nyanta den na menanga menkele pour sama nin diwni lafta palasi la ibe palaso nyini na Gambia no lebulu badi ite palaso nyini na fulabulu ite palaso nyini na mandin kabulu ibe palaso nyini na ase Gambians. And the jomal leka campaign okay young generation many alonko we are the very people many alonko we have to fight against all this nonsense thinking. But be United for Change ila movement o adalilo lo ketanyinete. They have confidence ko talbebe win. Ikafo mena undecided voters, those who don't like UDP. We are not advocating that ikafo ko mo bele nanta lafla UDP. That is impossible. Ofente dunia kono mo be lafta menna. Hani talbe mo be ta kono la bad mo be fanante lafinola. We have to accept that. We have to accept that. But the problem here is ila advocacy momenti. Wala mo ko talbe siyo be afanje wala kono. Nde manya na kar jubela nyaton ko jubela ko surwala mo man fanja kono when I'm paying my tax. nte manyana nyato ngo jubela ko nyi mufuloleti ntel tem fanjela nyinkono. When he is representing what on tell kan Gambia doing until you come until in kamune nyitandi mola comme se kumbalo sita ay memfo se kumbalo lota la ako anim full community men yalla koy bota jine akoy kal besila na muneya the president fulolati vice president mu fulolati chief justice mu fulolati justice minister mu fulolati and then the itata police inspector general mu fulolati ay palaso lo nyoka ko nyimbe mu fulolati. Therefore, they should not be afraid of anything in that country. Should the country be run by like in that way as a Muslim nation? Ite banko me yalon kontrol bejan. Nte manke jaman dint. Mbota Gambia far away from my country. Niajeng hanyi tangan na banko bula kanaja mbate jam fate jam badin teja. Nata nyim banko ka because ngalo neko they have a democracy or democracy to protect the life and the property of every human being regardless of their race, their religious and whatever. Allah banko beta kanten. Jomal le bake ka politiciano. E mankuno alla leptanul ma. For example, man sakunda ali amwele 1.something billion. Wale filter Adam Barrow from 2023 to 2025. They are on account for. But most of our intellectual, that's not their business. The only thing wala mko nake na henga fale ne ko UDP munene lalle. Ntel la neni roni mbanko la economic la grow mune sotonyola. Neni roni mbanko la unemployment rate mune sotonyola. But this is what happened. This is what happened. Ning politician ul man fensoto ibe memfola ibe mune kila wala mko ka banku diunta kan fandi nyoka. A leader who want to change the nation, what a division or not in la banku diuntema for his personal interest, because yalon neko no country can move forward based on division. So most of our politicians, they only create the division so that they can remain in the power. That's what they benefit themselves from, but not our unity. Walatina ninga molje sirin United for Change ngela molje sirin iko they are politicians with different. Which political party are they come from? Some from UDP, some from NPP. And which electorate are they going to advocate? Which electorate are they going to take to them? Are they not Gambians? They are Gambians. Ite femfola UDP mammen fokunu. Ite fenkila UDP mammen keke fam proof. But the problem, that's meaning a telephone la lonya is more worse than any of the political party in the Gambia. This United for Change. Because they categorically clearly tell the Gambians ko it will not to prove the tribalism in the Gambia because muneketa niaje ilafta talibe lo ilafta lenye sidol ye fanje talibe bala siol be fanje talibe bala but ne hatare tonya be kene talibe ni fulo le mune soto nyola flamu so babul fine talibe bama mandin kolo me talibe bama wulu mandin kolo talibe fama mandin kole a wulu abama mu mandin kolet. So but they don't see that. The problem is that the Mandinka count. That is the truth. They don't count Talbe as a Mandinka today. But the same people will tell you Adama Barrow mu fulolet. While Adama Barrow mother is a fula. The father is a Mandinka. But in turn, Talbe Bensuda Meyalonko, Abama Mandinkot, likewise, Adama Barrow Bama Mufuloti Nyame. They term Adama Barrow as a Mandinka, as a Fula, but they call Talbe Bensuda Manke Mandinkati. Fwekane Kafale Konyaje Man Talbeta because of Amanke enough Mandinkot. But they the same people, many Alonko, Adama Barrow Bama Mufuloti, they call still term Adama Barrow as a Fula. So this problem is not about Gambia politico is not about Kafoko, Karle competent, the Karman competent. They are competent. Now we Gambians are not, they don't even care about the competency. All they care which tribe this candidate belong to. We all here. It ada ye bero chika kadi Adama Barola because he hate. And I even feel ashamed that Dr. Kaji go funding kasi kafo moleko if Adam Barrow ba usen lota he is 100% soko Adam Barrow is going to win based on what? Because I at the final admit yeleko not because I alone ko Adam Barrow in ba usen is million times competence than Adam Barrow but because of ba usen the hate on him. Now what be so ite man lafintela ite man lafintela. But at the same time, I have to subdue. Nale talbe ta nyin sidol be fenkela but nale dabota. So because of more la hatred against Dabo, not because of our competency, not because of our past record, but because of our manding kaya ali a reject al kon dol fanangana nga reject ntel meni alon ko nga kenna nyato ko tintakela. Do not satisfy people based on hate. Mo kana songala mo kendo fonte son nanyina. And then B many be talbe no mam fon la UDP nkolo. These are the same people. Kuno many aloko we are President United Democratic Party. Many kafale ko UDP mu nenir lalet. Be many aloko be a movement for change like kono KMC movement for change. Many be je kale ko UDP they are intolerant. These are the people we were together with them yesterday. And these are the people many alonko. Il lafta ko talibe ika party o mentola ko nenir lalem. Itali alonko UDP mu nenir lalet. But they still want Talibe to rule that nenir la party. So that's meaning when United Democratic Party choose Talbe as a candidate, then Talbe will still lead that that Nenir Party, Nenir Party Lamono. How honest are we as a humans? I'm only good in your eyes. Ni ayatre ite lafta mena lete la personally fenko ite lafta mena. Nye moment beka for UDP mu Nenir lalet. Alla mol baykar nyol kan Nenir lek. Will they disown their children because of a cannon or they will try to correct them? Neniro has nothing to do with the political parties, but the behavior of an individuals. But it's saying the certain is it a manifesto is against no political party. In an entire UDP manifestos are not good. They don't criticize UDP manifestos. They don't criticize the UDP policies. The only thing they can tell you, they are arrogant. The only thing they can tell you that they are aggressive. And these are the few people, many aloko, even UDP Mansakundana 10 times, they will never be part of in the cabinet or decision-making bodies. So how honest are we? Do we want to change our country for better? Or we just want to change our country to satisfy few individuals? Nyene nyanta kila ginin karot. Katum B. Mfonda UDP din jamali. Many aloko ibe movement change for United for change movement. I don't need to name them. Bika odiol bula. UDP munyineti, UDP munyineti. Foroding, how can you even ite foroding bo keno la nyadile? Ebe party menkono. Eko party kendola. You was campaigning for them. Now itela kunkilin nafa itela lafta menna. Wole ma woke yeton mo kendo bukani keno de dunia mo beti keno la nyaton ko whether we accept that or not. And ebe kafo kono, you have to put that in your head ko not everybody is going to appreciate that kafo alama fenda nyin dunia kono mol bebe laf menna. And some of our UDP also I think they will understand that kaje ko amanko ko every Gambian should support UDP. Katu hani ala me yalon kay adama di muda mo be man songama andu wo ala fon manna ka fu mole ko dia ko ya kari ite nyanta kel sonnante male hani de walakin ako faman sha'a falyaghfiru wa man sha'a falyumin nadi ata me sonte alama nadi ata me yebalamma nyina mutonyat bari United for Change bi tel ka jiki men ka diamu lale e kamune encourage ngamusundi dola fenko ngamisindi dola atodum fenko lamoy akafo Ibrahim Dibaye yibe kun wulindi man tanake. Yes, atela feel in the mood. But one thing about the Gambians, surtout l'antel meni alon kombe family le wuluka mbe diun le wuluka. Itete sonna etel kilo killing. Meni ba foka Ibrahim Dibaye yemenke. Ibe diuni ya marla le ba pour ka wolke ban Ibrahim Dibaye menke. Atele kilo killing talibe menke fali bali diuni ya marla pour tal al diuni wolke. Because I personally ndete mo ya marla kula nde ku nyinyandi la mo bulu me ya lon konte sonnan diuni ya kenten diuni ya marla kulka wala mo ke countinya katun dino e men fulo wala mo ko ako ya ayyuhallazina amanu atel mol men ya lon kan latante Allah ya la ma mo be fujam bar mada ma ite fonde ya ta ko ite lata alal alay mun foye ako lima taquluna ma la tafaluna muna kennal ka kuma kawno falte men kena amanda wala de akoy ko kaburan maqtan indallahi an taquluna ma la taf'aluna ni muku balde alaya e ka kumo fo ite men kela bar Gambia di bi aka wo kusi falle promote because of ila ni diale beje e ka kwolta ke nyandi me yalon ko society kono adamadi ya kono na foro yalo kono wol manke kuti mo nyanta nganya la mella but because of na ni diale beje kuni ko baro e men ka mambete ya andi safo ko ha alfata talbe la molna nyil bem opposition mbem opposition bari kata jo malle noma ite latinyaro mendi wala ko ngatinya UDP isilo ya fo ko nyil kilo kili biri resign ima fo ko we have problem with UDP la policy ima fo ko we have problem with UDP ila party la manifesto de iko ila principle movement wala muko ite la principle movement ande nyil be kafo kono fo fer resign bi abe United for Change fo fer resign te kono wallahi al nyile kafo lo dawda ila fta ko mena naman tamaje be kafo nyil bulala because these are the self entitled people men yalo ko itel kajele ko they are more better than anybody itel la voice should be heard than anybody's voice wala muko itel lafta mena no man can draw they will walk away but for dunia kata wonyale dunia kata wonyale. Yes, today people will celebrate them. Some are celebrating them. Those people are not even going to vote for them. Those people are ikafamena wol museta nol tebe jambandi kanne wol be dandan kanne pour ne UDP be talala nyame katu wol special hateless on UDP. I think some of them they have to understand that not everybody who are supporting Talbe are going to vote for Talbe. Some have a problem at UDP la taropol wala dino ni sawo UDP tinya wala ambition movement wala mko kaje ko UDP in Talbe divided because they think that is going to destroy UDP. Imagine be kallo many aloko they never appreciate Talbe be kafoko team Talbe adama di unin ko boy tatani hakilola ala yin dunia natinde hakili malle but you know most of our people they said surtout la tuba karamudo dindewni itel yamira ko grama la mu feobet ni mentata degree soto rek wo yamira ko is more better his thinking is far better than anybody else but I mello wala ama mello wala muko ni hakilo sondomo men ala di molla is natural gift le mot so wala tinna some of them e can mention UDP they are violence UDP they are this, UDP they are this, UDP they are this. Pour ka moli jutundi UDP la. But alifa kende jolle be United Democratic Party kono menne neta fula moy heb. Mo jolle be UDP kono musu ka foli meni be gadino to wol ke mira menna wala muy bela balwoso wala mantar UDP kono wolte mo nen layto kuma jaw fula moy wol ke mira menna ila lettano be falina nyaadi la balwol be fenkela nyaadi. But you come out and paid that entire political party. Kade komo jawolom. SK UDP, ila voting, they have over 238,000 votes. You turn that entire, if that 238,000 voters, all those people are bad people. Do you think that the Bankobe Nyama Betala Wonyalebi? But because of Muneketa, some hate UDP based on tribes. Some hate UDP because of they don't want, they feel threatened at the presence of UDP in political arena. So walatina ye politician that jit atata si platform ota be UDP la kuma kurune fola. What the same people le kanna fomole ko politician le opposition la damba ni manya na nyomala bali tele sintelima ni kumol forma comme Essa journalist o menke ay kuma kurun for UDP ma. Her party intolerant. How many people did Essa yellow? You don't judge people one person for entire party be because of more kunkino. And alaya categorically clear for the co. Ako تخرج الميت من الحي وتخرج الحي من الميت. Nga kendo bondi kurun konole nga kurun fanam bondi kendo konole woto kafo kafay mo kendo soto kafo kafay mo kurun soto but foy beta mo kurun laji ko be kafo beta le babe pentlawol and that is the dishonesty membe na banko kambi mfauna moli ka afonye ko ha men betal be no mabi ha UDP betenne ibuka mola kende ya loye ha UDP nyil mufengo but kuni be mule foka UDP adamadi wonyen dunia kono hani rasulu sallallahu alayhi wa sallam anala saibol kanyo sabale wato dol amanka every time ibano ma yes no. The only time me yalo ko prophet aning ala saibol tenyo sabala wala muko ni wahyo jita kan watuma abota adamadi wala konto kono katu ala la kuma kan nobody should argue with that katun beson dawal ko la yantiqu anil hawa in huwa illa wahyu yuha abu kadiya mani yola diala nin sa ayol nata sa atela kalmel senka ala la kuma kan lamon. That's the only time me yalo kanala sahabat de agula. But the journalists today, they can criticize United Democratic Party. That is a democracy. But if United Democratic Party encounter them, the supporters encounter them, trying to, rectify them, they call us as an intolerant people. We are insulters. Everybody will come. It comes that that's the moment they are all waiting for. And go. Yaje adamadi unite mamul conventional based on ila policy la. E mamul conventional based ila ideology la. For eko ebe mul conventional based on destroying others. Inenete tala. And United Movement for Change, they have a very bad politics. Ibota UDP kono, but they are worse than any politician in that country. Because today, ebe basically muneka alinga UDP called Tinya Gambia diwne. Alinga UDP called Tinya. Bida musu fake be social media kono. Kuno ngikam ndesilanta mole nya mo me yalon ko akatari ya change la komen ko samajio. Kuno nteni telebe kuobe kono. Ni be kuobe keka mumo kendol. Bari because of it lafta fennela nde buli ma wo soto. Wo particular fen ando atarle ko yefen dolle soto mbulu. Yenke mo kendol. Bari yen dani fenne la mawo dila e tonta e komu mo kurunete wote tenyante fanjube nteni te jomala mo kurunete nteni te jomala mo kurunete ni ajube bi Gambia kono mansa kundala ko be sai alanditale wala kina ngam fanyine nganko talibe na la kafomol. Do they even concern about the things going on in that country? Because they are these people, they are even helping Adama Barrow. Because now the fight is not between the UDP and NPP. The fight is between the UDP and who else? Between the UDP and Change for Movement. Now they give round to Adama Barrow to enjoy. And one thing I can tell you that most of this United for Change, ila brain ka change nyame ka taria fali na nyama kan desilande Adama de unyale. Ini mole kuwa beke sanji jole. Ini mole kuwa beke sanji jole. Within 1-2 months, Adama de umenka taria ka hetri bilno animal tema. Amo sifa sila ngenya. Sila amo sifa nya. Amo sifate kuke nyoti. Adama du me yalon ka kataria. Kuni nabe diaron fat. I change it wrong. What killing? I na kondante aba bilina te wat keno la mo kendot. Al sila nyenya. And that is the behavior. Ngaje some of this youth ikafonya adile. Talibe la good pomol. Some of them come da kwene na matala UDP. UDP nkani man fen soto nyola. Their only problem with UDP wala muko ite left a talibele ke candidate. And one thing I don't understand. Patio me yalo ko sanji tanzama be existre. Mol fada patio nye, mol buteta patio nye, mol tata exal patio nye na kuokan. Nya ye alata kola be talibe nyul be fola. Alata kola wo patio na. You forget all those things now. Because you want to destroy all that effort. Because it left a particular individual. Wole ike wo party ola nyata ukote eko hane alengata democracy process la. These people, they don't even believe democracy. They don't even believe democracy. Because na kordali kono ni aje ka kabila mitunkili wole mukongbe lamwe nyola. Jamaa lafta men na kabilo kono wala kake. Jamaa lafta men na kabilo kono wala kake. Na sate kono niaje nka sate mitunike. Jama lafta men na wasate ko wala kake. Bari itete nala mo kino tena sate ko nala manyinta ndebe ndabula kafo kono. No keta banku ka sate o sate ta sate wala kafo bukata. Because you want people to dance with your tune or this way or no other way else. That's the only thing ilafta menkela. Ka UDP bully, dia ko ya al talibeta, naliman talibeta mballa pati o tinyala. And that is the mission now ibe menka. But alako makaru makhrallahi wallahu khairu makirin. Al balla plano lala. Ndefa ala fana benna plano laka, and I am the master planner. Adu ala ko inna Allah ma'ashadikin. Ala de atinin tonya mollo. Ning ayatare ko tonya batel le bulu. Mbaje lale. Bawe ite tena muome yalon ko pati. Anada ay dunta pati men ko na pati nyintal lori. O pati yata yake fendi. Ala na mako ero kama. Ngamira ko you should be the last person try to divide that party because he left a killer fendo let him member hire ye falaso mendila. Hanni left a wala democratic right lam. But you should do it based on respect. Talibe menketen talibe la kafo kono. Kafo ni abe tinyala le. Mafa abe tinyala bi abe tinyala samade. But say what about? Bawe ko ba usin ma win wa atra le sinya tan signal. Itel nek ala diamu tale talibe be win la le. But at the same time he is a winnable candidate. And they come in for we want the unity. Who are they going to unity with? Who are they going to, ibe jomale be united la. In jomale be united la. Because Taliban menke UDP kono. Forget about the UDP. And if anybody have this belief core, you can remove Adama Barrow without the UDP. You are just fooling yourself. If anybody think that it's a political UDP la entire supporter sol beta you are fooling yourself. So this funding keolo ba on ke ko le boy refet ñoli ngay boy refet ñol la mo fe ma wosibi ñoli je. The sad thing about that country ne aje o banko titan. If I look at this movement, the young people, many aloko, they should be in research fields, engineering fields, construction fields, doing entrepreneurs. Well, young people, they are going to depend their survival on politics. And that country will be more damaged. Nitata dunia banku kota ulika jamani yuli. Fali ama it will move ta wonyani. This kind of movement, have you ever seen such movement in German here? Because wala alfano, jang alfano mu marle lalti. Yeah, because alfa men, you funding kill be tembo menton, ni banko chika yadi nyil. What a massive bot. Nim ko mu nyil mahan dunia life from start follow. And the someone may aloko, you have no profession. You want to make politics as your profession. How are you going to survive tomorrow? Most of the politicians, many are going to survival, but depending on politics, they become a hypocrites. They become people, many are they have no manner. They become people, many are they have no integrity, they have no principle. Because if they want to practice their principle, if they want to be moral, they cannot survive. Because in Africa, so tell advice movement as a young person, go and try to elevate yourself. Try to do something for your life. Do not depend your survival on politics. Dunia be tambika wala de. Dunia be tambika wala de. Banko men yalo kal kata sada danije al nan la nyim policy men yalo kal ka policy ça fait beaucoup bal kono al be implement la based on sada dano la donors. And where are you taking all donors monies from the west, whereby they are hele nyato gol be al fallet. Look at all of them. What are they doing for living? What are they doing for living? If you look at the young ages, many are local today, how do you expect those people to elevate the poverty from the country when they are at a less survival better depend on political? Ideul la karambum jobe tan la wo politiko lo kono. Ila musol la dawal be tan la wo politiko lo kono. Ila everything itel be ku kela. The flamboyant life abe betal la dending politiko lo kono. Based on who? The poor people many alon ko itel lenyan to elevate la from the poverty. Gambia ali sabare. Ibal ful kanyi mena youth. Ta dunia sambe bankol kambam fwebe youth sol le tan la marlo la je. Ni kale ko youth sol. Empowerment, the youth empowerment wole muko ali eka luale land the institutional policies many aloka be funding kyola be entrepreneurs encourage la bankoka. The people can be independent. The youth many aloka karanta government can empower them to create something for themselves. They can be a self-employees. But when the youths want to depend their survival on the politics, and we expect that country to move forward. Because ni more many along ebe political kono ejube. Look at this, your surrounding. Do you think most of these KMC area council, those many along ebe resent that thing, they have this, most of them will come back. Nin Taliban will win. Because 2026 Taliban is going to resign from that mayoral position. And you will see many of them will join NPP. Because this council is where they are, Ibela Dimbal the survival Sotoka wallet. They have this high hope call. Then Talbenata, it will find a balwobe betela, not the Gambian soul la balwobe betela, but it will find a betalbe by endos canting with the high hope call, Nitalbe Ganyanale, Naganya, they will find a balwobe betela, not the other Gambians. Fankum. And then what you forget, Wolamuko? Politic. Nikoibela survival depend on political. You become useless in this society. Look at Morsabal Nyul. Morsabal Nyul UBB. With all the education. Ataka karanta nyawonya ala wo karang be abe mune ke kambi. Ka wuri president Baro noma abe kumabal fola ala abe mune ke kanno afanye. Akamune ke afanye. Nothing absolutely. So and then nte labanko can the youths alikun kalfanna. Momo ko politiko ilabal wobe nyala ko they are lying to you. And then most of these politicians, many along ko ilabal wobe loring politiko la kay jama be ni fata manke alati bari jama be beta jahannabal. Katun fuaro la kodo e ko le kafunyo ma yadi la haramu kodo. Alaka fa mena la taqulu amwalakum bainakum bil batila. Alkana nyola nafulo do batra ya kono. Alkana nyola nafulo do batra ya kono. But every young politician in the Gambia today, they see the media, what they believe is to lie. Ha mo wuli nanga mo lebentel noma, ha mo wuli wulo lebentel noma, ngamenke is a record, no politician, political party ever. You go to the media. Ite habira wole mu balot. Think about your children. Politician can fail. You have many politicians who fail completely. But if you fail, what else can you do? What else can you do? So Gambia do in the Benala, ha Taliban is the unifier. It's all lies. Taliban can never unify anybody. If Taliban cannot unify United Democratic Party, if Taliban party may yalon ko yalondi yake mayoti, ayo party is divided. How can he be a unifier? That is my question to anybody may yalon kaka Taliban fasa. Because unifier wote kela moti me yalon ko atena sababu keta ka expose Gambia dunia meniti atena aka well divided. Atena aka well divided. Anda la mol fana jube bi ebe fenko nyilin kamunela support nyilin kamunela wala mko kamoli ning ka UDP diuni anin Gambia dim ko tawne kam findi nyoka UDP ngol mu tribalist solete iman talibeta katu mandin kollom amanke enough manding court. How can any genuine politician based on your campaign on such kind of arguments? You are not unifying. You are dividing. You are dividing. So Nite Kaneka Fonjoloko, Taliban is the only person who can unify this country. People many alonko, they are the biggest victims, majority victims in the previous government. Talibe be tilimbali yake ka wolle labi. Abe tolla ka wolle labi. wol ni la kamfal ni la diminal be siri al kanal ka fonye ko talbe is the unifier. He's unifying who? KMC, area council, right? Those who are benefiting from the system. Ñil jama be talbe kun doko mallaw nsiate tile wallahi. Anim fail minister Kotole. Alo Albetulunga masi bolla. Politician ya masa kunda dogo alkalkal la balu sembe wala bala. Baton koste baton dem na baton yey. Baton dem na baton albalo nako Afrika masa kunda mo baton dem na baton nyewna. Baton dem na baton Imagine Adam Barrow si kuto birani UDP tinyat danjanta. Ha? Fenge suso. Sukutan ko la kionye. Ota da fengo feko former Deputies Association. Former MP Association. Iwan be balu dulaji ni una alkal be balu la fuaro le la ilaha illallah Gambia ndel ka diama de electricity le ni funding kyole ngale pare nyaaje le boy refete nyole alwa Adam Barrow la corruption ko ga ban ni bulo datal la banko ni ma han life start follow. These people, ndanga ni doli jame la ilaha illallah. MC champion, ni dale ye hafta ni si ye bulo la nyoka. Because Gambia politician ya mina kasika kumabali fo, kapare balike. Yalo this dunia, don't be fake. Be who you are, be real. Emankementi kane fanke wote. Because emankementi ila soto manfuta dame ila makamo of manfuta dame niye fanfuta ndije. You suppress yourself. You are a oppressor on yourself. because it le fanyita ndi mola. And the most of our politicians are fake. Ila costume dol fon be kata esanne ke don tonan. Essa ela costume dole beje e ke don tole la full suso dole beje kata le kullo kono wurara ma fona mo de nindi bodunda e kata sere kun fuka jay mbali to sanato yeta ye utulola Gambia isi wudde politique Gambia isi wudde fonga am sa bopa fonga ham sa bopa. So alnyabe nyim boy refet nyol la nyili nali na banko nyina nyil be kasara kala na kodo la mota kala billahi wallahi taala because they are energetic, they are young people. Many yalo ko mutadula table de these people, they are surviving is now depend on politics. None of these people don't bafule ko man hamna suma liggéey man computer expert la Gambia computer expert mune alika ben doxut si deka bop momo ka foy ko man computer expert la dafa fen momo ka foy man dema am suma liggéey man solo ma dara si government yep fen kat len e be fan yalla fo kande ñun ñoo gëna soxla government ñun ñoo gëna soxla dara keba ko do si pare kata si media to aba holan dele mo wul tande ben del bulu ñun movement bi ñun fase movement la man sa kunda do ko jam fondin kewle jam man sa kunda do ko e be mo men fonjira ka that will be their last thinking to work for the government. But Gambia now, the politics is becoming luxurious. Musol be fenkele no mabuto ne funda dawda ba fala talibe Gambia bebe telekoma ha bebe tembo mendo ya jël Gambia am nga fi kay de yaw kay si movement bi defa touch UDP movement bi te kuma ba fo yaw wax bu fenkele rek ka fa kuma ba fo ñaadi le because that's what they think is politics is all about. yaay company fale bàyyi na UDP yaay company fale dafa join NPP Jawla o banko Allahu akbar ya rabbi anda dol fon betembo men do ñi youth movement o kono wol tentente wole muso dol jele ka fayne ko haral be ñu jël government dena la tak rek am nga side bi mun ma la taga yow ami yow da nga xamne da nga wara am affaire man fu ma ne gane haral be talbe ñew rek dem la taga de ite muso mi yalo ko ba fele ko haral be ñu sun government ñew rek dena la tak yow da nga wess sa time sa yow togal fofu de be nga xaar be government talbe ñew so you funding ko dol bete wala ha moment ni talbe ni man sa kunda so dol bete je woli yela satik ñol le promise Winda wallahi tallahi nin talbe man gagne 2026. I'm not talking about the diaspora, but most of those people in the Gambia, they will end up joining NPP because they will not come back to United Democratic Party. Some will come back to UDP because the election is 2026. And then 2027, 2028 will be the local government election. If Taliban lose, most of these councillors, they will leave Taliban and come back to UDP, trying to fool UDP so that they can have their, councillor seat back again. Because that's where they are surviving. In a survival depending on Gambia is a prank state. The people don't believe nothing. And then the men be diaspora. Ola ko fonka fonin defele. Idel be siri tuba bol la bankol ka men yalo ko alfande be siri wote. E buga fo hara sorto la men be America. President Jomal be Maraka Americano. Ken dula wa haram ma pak suma bak ma ñibi parce que man fi mak doma nekk suma president. Yen da ngeen tok ci America da ngeen wax ci Gambia ni man ñun am nga pa bi defa maget sen president nak xana bo makiwut do len ñibi Gambia no bilda wala fake. Why can't we be realistic at once? We are looking for competent leadership. Why you boy refeti dengen fok ni refet kati rek Gambia no len sola. People like Talbe. Talbe is liked by many. We don't care. Hanada dusa mo mulu jawada ko dusa no. Natra competent. Gambia no need the competency. We don't need boy refet. We want someone who will deliver to the expectation of the Gambians. Someone who can deliver. But yena yafo mole don yalon dabo mol man lafala. E man lafala based on what? Is he a thief? No. Is he not competent? No. But because of his mandinka, alinga ha change so that means sidol si bebero file UDP. Hey, ning ayatare based on that. Wallahi, hanatare UDP talbeta based on that. Essa Jawla ma from bebula UDP, but I'm not going to campaign for him. Ngalo ne kon campaign da mo man campaign suma fu ba o ndel mu kino yuro sama to let ndel mo convince no la. You can't understand. So until we campaign for Talbe or not, Talbe will Talbe la suma fulet. But how can any person me yalon ko ila brain be tamaka ite nyanta mo endorse la wala alinga ta katunyin sidol wala ya admeyale ni sidol ya admeyale, and these are the country mbe den tamenna. So he left a phone the phone endorse me yalonko, it will discriminate me, discriminate my children, discriminate my grandchildren tomorrow. Walakin ankon na nyim mandin ka dindi men yalonko be poddin na hal be mandin ko lal be bero fayle kan al ba fole ko tribally soldom al diwni be jele alla buso abal diwni busala be senala set al yamil alla bulaw talibe noma nin talbe botaje sama atel diun si keno few fendi wo banko kan But I'll found labor system or endorse it is going to victimize your children tomorrow. Instead, we fight against the system. Kaje kontrolle mu banko diulti fula mandin kasuru wa Jawla mbele mu banko diulti saita mbek njama beje mu misilimo ni Christiano. That's the thing we should fight against. That's the thing we should advocate for. But ite kanna ebe system o natin dila meya lonko sama it is going to victimize your own children. Are you creating something that will be fair for your children tomorrow? It is very sad. You are destroying your children's future tomorrow. Ebe konantea create ke dunia because you want talibe. Iku tamandi. For talibe le fisi atete diuntiba. Bawo ibe nyimmen fokan sama ibe diun talibe punish la wala mandin kollo. Ngoy kasi jane ka fay ko mandin kol kunu ngane ni jawba la jemo yake UDP la ake ba usella ne jawba amanda wala kam mandin kol nene kuma ka woni tete nda sayla kan ako nene te nyim banko rulla and we are endorsing that. I don't care jomale ke banko president madam amari abe banko dewla hako dilel because ndengalo ne ko mobe sio bete ken la president banko ka mo kilinde kaje president barani molle ka do ko so ni te kan ka fonte ko nale karta kare mandin ko te kanyela jam wallahi billahi taala molle nyum fonye ha mandin kunale pio mandin ko ta te ganyela ifo na banko kan ebe diwni wulu kan banko menka e kan nay ka yo mentality te belief ta wala just you want to make someone to be a president mola makama ban futante woto ila makama amole te yin dunia mena makama futata katun diwni me fandada mbadi diwni me fandada e me fanke mandin kati ala lembe sindi nyim banko kan ala dun ko la yuqallifu Allahu nafsan illa wasaha ndefel lala niyo kan niyo temen non ni ajen sita mandin kol ni fulon ni surwan ni jolal ala yalon ne ko be nyotolo retlal bara ni te kanal konye ko nale pio mandin ko sindi nyin dolta alawla so that's meaning tel nyanta continue la kamolle endos me manke mandin ko bara mandin ko wo manyen na fensur la wo banko ka and that is the that is the mentality they are pumping into the society and then al bal fan victimization otakan al ba play kan al yamira ko ya playing the smart politics. You must be a fool. You must be a fool. Because o banko kan mo manyan najila ko ndemu mandin quality nimbeta pala so nyina nyanta ngoma lale 2023 parliamentary election 22 parliamentary election from majija NPP la atodu jokadu regional chairmano la ala audio leak ta kafo ko bulen jël sauce fi parce que so len jël sauce ken du muna ken du ko sané a Muslim nation ala ko innamal mu'minina ikwat Muslimul be albe badin kile al muslimu akhul muslim adu alfa men diwle kanyil fo walakin an kale bata men balka o banko kale yole deserve mentality membe mul kono ala la dari fo ete ko jube karida ka kawne fo kawnyin damman different bare nim mo be fada bi talo kaburol talba ale kaburol ale bade kol jube ale bal bulolo la men foni memi yela mo sute bare jomale kalo nyin domo mandin ka bade kolti nyin domo fula bade kolti nyin domo jola bade kolti and then the stupid people media lo kon the stupidity fon ka bu jomale bo del membe siri west be siri tubabolia ni la kola ta kilindi ye do ko dinna ni la dina ta kilindi ye mbulanga na dinol practice ndi barin ka kolta ka defending na bango ka meya lo ko they are abnormal. A small country like Gambia, alla population of Fulan debe sate o men kono ja balin alla population of Fula le bakon alla bango be alla population of Fula wala be ni sate kilin kon, but you don't hear those people saying such things. Sanji tawora alla bango jube Jawara sanji tansaba ya jambe sanji muwani Fula hani se alla banko be buru wuleng after ikana billions of billion e bangunding ikana mo billions of billion on le filter meni fanan ka sunya ka kodo nyi sunya ka samba bi danko be banko be normal ka fo mole ko a duwala jabita nyim banko duwajo mala jabita medical la kodo nyim fanan sunya e ka kodo nyi investment ole e ka ati kala ka samba america nyoli e ka samba senegal nyoli e beta banku kotolto bari juju ta banko nyin dala they will never invest it there fuaro la be lori nyola e ka fo kar nyul mandin kollete fulol bari ta banjul leptano to ya jube mandin ka fula surwa jola albebe tora de nyokanje alka ala dan suro ni dilo every Johnson, every corner, every direction, you have a mosque, you have a Quranic surah, but the impact is not in the society. Misil me society me ala Quran hafigol be le parinje amang tribalism banwal kono amang hasidiya banwal tema Allah wo Quranul karamul ina falle Allah wo jamal ina falle president felen daka 10 million kodimati ka kadi molla kali jame lo ala banko diun be faka ala nyim fo min dole ala ya fo min dole e yada eta sole lo la jame on molbe konko be la banko diun la molbe le tano te bukala ranso wo fake dino al deno jamin dole kafa abate ka ala sino ka fali amako atlisi ala nene non ni afa ha tel mu misil mo fake muslime ya man sakunda ka romo ni ka 10 million ka konde kade kal jamelo the amount of mosque membo banko nyin kan ning ayatra no nga half of that sort of as hospital tombinu na health system otata wonyam ni funa jamelo dol fonto fitiri salo ka mo tanne tari jate han mo tan vansila bara la leptano to mul kata larim bankot e ka fo kon telbe ni kekan ala alka ala joma la bat ala joma han telbe ni kekan ala kan delbe ni kekan kila le kan medica wo kodo ti kay ka dialla munati na wo kodo ti ta spenda leptano kun hani ala niaja ko mole ko fa idha kudiyatis salati fantansiru fil arda wabdaghu min fadlillah hani nte ala nal ben tel batu kal pareta jamion ko nal funti ala ma fu moy ko jamion lo ta eta so ke jamion ta eta so ke jamot wala tele kamoli je la kordal kono konko be mol fala e baadi woni be je bu kamali bo do fonso e ka dala so wuli kebe woro ci kakada tiketo sa koy kata Saudi Arabia ni bo like nal bota Saudi Arabia na hijola Allah hijol kam akal bula ko kurun kew le fona kendek e buga ajajule ji maymuna sise da bo nyon dolla ajajube maymuna balde nyole e be tala be wuli yal fola karol bela iko itel mu ajjalete tata makabale makkatul mukarrama tata wolet tata bulo ma hajratul aswad ayena famune walakin hijo biya keda muneti kayle jisma nyemo tata hijo to janna benala ye laram bali sang ye fenkol bali sang atare ko ate fam abe iboke kameye abari muso do beje wala benki do beje wala ate fonda badi do ate fondi men del tabakire wo dol beje inin konko be sire fake misilme ya balla banko ka ali amal be dahal alla ni konnante yal nyola tuba wol jube al kafo ko ni nali me ke ko nyille be sialalti ar janna kono ngoy adamadi wona buña ya adamadi wona hakkole di yalla fake misil mol be jurmare banko ka banko dik sanji taworo sani siri sada dano but the baro jube na jida dawda me and my donors me and my donors this my donors that albeta kodol don tala karo bela riba yada kodol don to nay ko e ko dala se million kili bare be million tande jola e be million tanta e be million tande fulale jola riba alla banko be lori wala alkalte mansal tala men ya longo si do ko keno alelu al fanye bar sada dani mansal doron because amiro te la manke fente kar ki sosilen bulle ko san ki sosilam nga UDP sose patila atara ko sose al libe futukan al nim fulol be futukan al la futu bulanda to sose kute jede but political mu sose kuot say the biggest tribal people wala mu these people ulti many along ko lafta mol belief in la ko talibe si unifier itelle a vindicate ko yin sidol man la fi UDP itelle a fode iko ni UDP da bota yin sidol ta ba nale talibe ta yin sidol baltole so they want UDP to dance with their tune say ko hani jama ko lafta menna prakaj ibotaje ndel tata fans say ka ho ndel ñu sun political party bi am nga ñu sun movement bu xamne la ki defa change political diet itali abra angale kan nonsense angale kan wala mu fenke be betay be safari jambali kela sanji jol al nalla ni big grammatical la grammatical man fen natindi mole na man ke torol grammatic isita ye peji jamba safe natan no grammatic le ka ba go development bi hani Singapore te Gambia sila mama Queen Elizabeth ni Shakespeare mama ni niye nyo sita fula iwaje kata Facebook iba fula nyo ko go and learn. You are not educated, look at your grammar. With your old perfect grammatic, you cannot even buy buro ak nyebe. No. Bidawala Allah bango. Alinga dado. Anyway, mbadan na la jane ngal bula. Mba fulal be saludo. Forward kote. Kakairo siya ito. Ngal be kondo.